Law number 6, the law of the story. And I want those of us who are from Africa listening to this to pay very good attention. Most Americans have already mastered this, but we didn't know that. I didn't know this when I started. See, because we don't like to tell our stories, even though we have great ones. All right? I found out in the course of my guru wannabe-ness, in my journey land, in my wannabe land, in my journey in the guru wannabe land, I found out something very funny. That all the great masters, all the guys that are making the great money, they have a story. Either a story about their product or a story about themselves. That is why you will see somebody come out and tell you, oh, I was a used car salesman, even though he was a general manager of a car dealership. It doesn't mean he's lying, but he understands. It's that I'm a used car salesman, from used car salesman to mega successful internet marketer. Then he tells you a story about how he started out selling cars, how it wasn't working, how he was fired, and now all of a sudden he discovered internet marketing and now he's making $1 million. Now buy this product I just created. Or somebody will tell you, myself and my wife, we were thrown out on the street, we were on welfare, and then the next thing we discover internet marketing and now we are doing great. I don't know if you have noticed that pattern from all the great products out there. Go read it. They tell you a story. It's called the hero's journey. Whether they have a hero's journey or not, they're going to come up with a hero's journey, which is always starting from grass to grace. All right? From the gutter to the penthouse. It's a story. So I finally started asking some of them when I went to their conferences, I went to the cruises with them, and this is what somebody said. A bad product with a great story will always outsell a great product with no story. When you put an African on a stage to speak, he's just going to mention his name, and the next thing you know, is going into the features and benefits of the product. But when you put an American or somebody from Europe on the stage, you give him an hour to speak, he's going to spend the first 20 minutes talking about his hero's journey. And he used to baffle me because in Africa, we're not used to that. Why do they spend so much time talking about themselves and their story when they are supposed to be teaching me how to launch my product? The reason why is they understand this law, that people buy more the story than the product. People love a good story. It's a great marketing angle. I would say gimmick. It's not a gimmick, particularly if your story is true. For instance, somebody like me, I've got a great story to tell. But I hardly ever tell it even today. See, I'm trying to work myself out of it. I told a bit, but I didn't really go into things that will really make you cry and then want to support whatever I have to sell. I mean, I got a great one. When you have your mom die on your 14th birthday, when you have been thrown in jail by a military ruler before, when you go from a lawyer who was hiring over 100 people to where you ended up in America with less than $150 in your pocket as a refugee. Those are all part of my story, and it is true. So I don't tell it enough. At the few places I've gone out of my way to actually tell that story for 15, 20 minutes, I found out that my sales have skyrocketed. People connect with you on the story level. Then maybe the product later. So you need to have a story. When I finally met Dave Van Hughes, he was the one that I learned this from. That you need to actually sit down, write your hero's journey. You got to write it. You got to do it creatively. Compress it into 15 minutes maximum. All right? And try to highlight the parts that are bad at the early on. Even if you have to exaggerate a little, just don't lie. All right? You can enhance your story if it's not great like that. And then you have to walk them through how you started, all the bad stuff that happened to you, all the way to where you're not doing well. What the story does is it connects you to your audience. It makes them want to patronize you. It makes them want to be you. It makes them want to support you. And then you have a great sale. All right? So the law of the story, when you see somebody struggling to make a sale, it's because he doesn't have a story. When you look at those you buy products from, mostly even from email, go and check their emails again. He always has a story in it. Then I tell you, I'm on the Bahamas with my daughter now. My daughter just spilled yogurt on me, but I really wanted you to see how this is going to look like. They take a little bit, they talk a little bit, the story, then they pitch you. All right? Another one will say, I'm just going out to a movie right now. I want to go watch this great movie by Tom Cruise. It talks a little bit about the story. Then, at the end of it, it tells you go buy this. It works, guys. And all the masters, go check them out. They have a story. Do you have a story? That's the question you should ask yourself. Does your product have a story behind it? Even in network marketing, when I was doing it, you hear somebody say, oh, this product was made out of some mysterious ingredient in Mount Fiji where people don't grow old. Okay? We tracked them down and blah, blah, blah. Then we got in there. And then at night while they were sleeping, we managed to grab the fruit. And now we have turned it into this great life-enhancing product. All right? Always a story. Go check them out. From Agile all the way down to whatever. Mention them. I don't want to keep mentioning network marketing names here. Because they know it works. Same way in internet marketing. Go and look at Alex Jeffries. Google him. You will see him sit down looking very morose and telling you about how he was a janitor and how he was on welfare, how everything broke down. I think he even cried in one of the videos. Yet at the time he was doing this, he was already a multi-millionaire in dollars. All right? How everything broke down, how his wife gave him ultimatum, and how finally he figured it out, and how now he's now a millionaire in business. Now he wants to coach you how to do it. Click below and pay me $1,000. That's how it works, guys. Go and check all of them out. They always have a story. My own coach, okay? My coach is Omar Martin. I'm very proud of him. I say that all the time. Go listen to him. Go Google him. Go to he's going to tell you a story first. He also has a compelling story where he was trained as a medic. Then 9/11 happened, and then he just had to resign and just go. Then he went all the way to Florida to start over. He will even show you the picture of where himself and his wife used to be sleep in a basement, or were homeless, and they were in a basement house. What is he doing? Those stories are true, yes, but those are stories people don't like to tell. But he told the story as part of his hero's journey. By the time he finished with that story, you have connected with this guy, okay? And you want to be like him. You want to order stuff that he has to sell. All the gurus, I could keep mentioning names and names. When the Todd Gross comes on, he's going to tell you the same thing. He's going to tell you how he was a weatherman, how he left the weatherman thing, how things got bad when he started, how now he's been able to figure it out, and all that. They love the story. If you get it, okay, give me a 10 right now. If you get the love of the story, don't just get it when you leave here today. Go figure out your own story. You got to have one. All right? I'm not saying make it up. Just look at your life and try to come up with a compelling story. Start every one of your videos with that. And it will surprise you how people will connect with you. All right? Because of your story. But when you don't have a story, you're just trying to sell. Nobody likes to be sold. Even look at your Facebook post. The day you post a story, see how many people react to it than the day you just post a product. You can do the exercise yourself. It will shock you. All right? Everybody has a story. Annie is saying, what if I don't have a story? You have a story. You didn't get into internet marketing making millions of dollars the first day. Tell them what you did the first time that didn't work. Tell them what drove you to internet marketing. All right? Everybody's got one. They just haven't thought about it. Because when I was told this by Dave Van Hughes, I was telling him I don't have a story. And then when we started talking, the guy almost freaked out. He said, yeah, are you kidding me? What you've just told me is probably one of the best stories I've ever had. Okay? How you grew up poor in a place like in Fadeyi, Lagos. How on your 14th birthday, your mom died following the riot against the government. And then how you got into trouble after you started making it, got into trouble with the government of Babangida, and Babangida threw you in jail for trying to fight for democracy. How ultimately you had to leave Nigeria, and then when you left Nigeria, you didn't have a dime in your pocket. You left your wife and child back home, and you only got $150 here. And you had to go work as a lawyer with a master's degree at that time. How I had to go and work in a telemarketing company, getting paid $7 an hour. Before you finally, he said, what are you kidding? You don't have a story? That story is worth $1 million. And when you Google me on YouTube now, you will see my story there. I actually got a video made. 5-minute video story. And it was compelling. Everywhere I've played it, people have freaked out. And I've made lots of sales. So don't tell me you don't have a story, all right? Video is better. Samuel is saying video or sales text. Video is better now. People love, because they can see you. We're talking your story now. Reading your story is different from hearing you say it yourself. All right, but either way, get a story.